don't mean to start yelling and screaming like that, but it's not an act, to have fun or be entertaining. It's mainly somebody just throwing a fit on air. Because, I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. I mean, I've been in different cities, and there'll be cops standing there in, like, black outfits with big helmets with machine guns, like cartoon characters bugging their eyes out at people. And it's just there to intimidate the public. You work for some criminal banks. You're trying to intimidate us. This isn't to make anybody feel safe. And it's always in cesspit, mafia-run cities where they've disarmed the public. I mean, you're crooks. And I can't take it anymore. And they just got all these little nobodies who are either bullies in schools or big wimps who want to dominate and run my life. And you know what? I'm tired of you shipping drugs in. I'm tired of you kidnapping people's kids. I'm tired of all your crimes, and I'm aware of it all. And the whole system is rotten, maggot-covered dead fish. Ugh. When I see them all over the news getting ready to blow stuff up, you realize these are murderers. You think I like confronting murdering killers. I'm angry at them. I know they could come kill me. I know they can come set me up. And so I'm even more angry at them. And I'm really mad at the public for not waking up. I wish Oklahoma City wasn't an inside job every day. I wish I hadn't talked to like 4 or 5 cops over the years who were on record being there, where the FBI said, we'll kill your family if you talk about what you saw. I mean, I wish the FBI wasn't telling cops we'll kill your family. Believe me, I wish that wasn't real. They could kill me, they could kill my family. But I cannot bend down and lick their boots, and I will not do it. I'm going to stand on my hind legs to this scum, and that's the end of it. But again, the reason we're going to beat them is they can't stop themselves. They're going to steal everything. And my message has already gone out, and everybody's going to know who did it. So you go ahead and just blow up some buildings and blame it on us and kill your own people like you always do, you scum, and do whatever. But this time we got people watching. This time we do see something, we say something. And no amount of internet censorship or COINTELPRO is going to save you. Okay? So know that. And all of you that serve this system, however long this takes, you are going to be prosecuted. When we take America back from your criminal takeover, I'm going to make sure, even if I'm not here, I'm putting the idea out now, you're going to be prosecuted. And we're going to let loose all these nonviolent offenders that you've put in there. And we're going to put all the corrupt judges and prosecutors and people that set people up. I've seen cases in Texas where it turns out the prosecutor, one in Round Rock, knew the guy he sent to prison was innocent. And didn't even have that much of a criminal record. Not like they're saying, well, he's a bad guy, so we're doing this. That's the road to hell's paved with that type of activity. But then they try to keep them in prison just so they wouldn't look bad on their record. I mean, these are monsters. These are monsters. These are monsters. And we've gotten this attitude as Americans that we're supposed to bow down to them. No. I'm standing up to you. I'm done. Josh in California, then JR and others. And I'm sorry I'm ranting, and now I'm exhausted. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, hi. How's it going?
I'm just sick at my stomach.
First time caller.
Welcome.
I just wanted to put some credence and or mortar behind what you say as best I can from my own personal experience of you saying these people are hijacked. And I just want to say thank you for helping fill in the puzzle pieces and the, like you said, dot to dots, you know. For my life, for some of these things I've seen, my family, just like your family, is related to longtime American upcoming, and
that means terrorist. Terrorist. Yeah, the founders are terrorists, according to the government.
Exactly. One of my uncles worked. Exactly. One of my uncles works, or not currently, but previously worked in the Pentagon for 30+ years. He worked in intelligence and in communications. I'm kind of nervous talking about this because it is family. Anyways, long story short, he worked in the Pentagon. He worked in a high-up place for 30+ years. I would always ask him what you would call we're not in Kansas anymore stuff. You know, in the 90s, I was always interested. Oh, what do they have? You know, what can you tell me about? And he'd tell me about this or that or this and that. But over the years, I got more interested in the politics stuff because of what had been coming up.
Stay there. I want to hear about this, and then we'll get to JR, Dean, Sean, and Nicholas, and that's it, because I got to get to the other news and try to refocus myself here. They're about to break through in the Antarctic to the oldest lake in the world, 20 million years old. For a lot of you, this is just entertaining radio and TV. And for some others, most of you, your worst stuff's bad, but still, I don't think it's heat between the eyes. For me, I'm in the front lines every day. I think about this when I dream. I think about it when I read books to my children when they're going to sleep at night, and how I've had to risk their lives and their future to tell the truth. I am bitter. I am angry. Because the world is a beautiful, good place full of really good things. But good people, not enough of you stand up against corruption. And it really tears my guts out, because it's not a feeling of fear of the New World Order. It's a feeling of disgust. It's so ridiculous. It's like watching somebody's house burn down with their kids in it, and you come to their door and say, get out. And they're like, there's no fire, as their hair burns off. It's just, it's a bad nightmare. And, you know, I get up here and I joke around some and stuff, and then I get mad at myself because the magnitude of this information is so much crazier than I could even describe. And I listen to the show sometimes on a rebroadcast, and I didn't make all the points I wanted to make. I didn't cover all the news I wanted to cover. I just don't feel worthy to even be bringing you this information. But I've just decided to stop caring, and I'm going to let it all hang out, because I'm just doing the best I can. But we have a horrible case of tyranny, and I'm going to go into your calls. But I want to boil it down to this. This is nothing but slavery. Governments have figured out how to repackage slavery. They ship in addictive chemicals. They then sell them to you when you get addicted. They put you in private prisons that they own and tax the public to pay for it. They take people's children now outside of law and sell them. We are farmed by the criminal class, and I declare independence against it, and I see it. You know, there's passages in the Bible where it says the beginning of knowledge is sorrow. Guys, I forget what passage that is. Will you search engine, the beginning of knowledge is sorrow, Bible passage? And I remember being in Sunday school as a kid, not knowing what that meant. Well, knowledge, that's going to be great. I know why people don't want to stand up against evil, because you start looking into it and you're like, whoa, that's scary, that's creepy. Knowing about this is sorrow. People say kids should be more positive. The most positive thing I can do is attack these people savagely in an info war. I mean, I am waging war with the truth. I am attacking with everything I've got. I'm not the best manager. I'm not the best orator. I'm not the best filmmaker, any of that. But I've had a big effect because I am fighting hard. And I am honing my skills. But at the end of the day, I can't even sit here and give eloquent, perfect, calm speeches all the time. I do sometimes, because a photo can freak me out. Or reading about where they're taking somebody's kids because they didn't vaccinate. And I know there's not a law in that state, but I still look it up, and I know there isn't. And I see a bunch of cops in black uniforms with little freaky mustaches dragging the parents off. And I just want to defend those people. I see organized crime, organized gangs hurting us and lying to themselves while they're doing it. And every bit of my manhood is try to reach out to these people that serve evil and wake them up. Maybe they're just dumb. And then even after all the evil, world government, UN tax, global banker takeover, secret arrest of citizens, total surveillance, poison in the food and water, with all the documents how they're doing it, still, it just moves forward. And you tell people this, they're like, oh, thanks for what you do. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, I don't think I'm doing enough being assaulted. I think I need to sue the city of Austin. I've hinted for you to do it. They put sodium fluoride, a toxic waste, in your water, along with hundreds of other chemicals, and they pay $1 million a year or more. We've gotten the bills, we've gotten from the city, to maybe pay for it. And this goes for all the other cities. I mean, we should be suing the mayor, suing the city manager, suing the water department. And you're like, well, the courts are corrupt. No, you'll start getting some headway. We're getting it pulled out all over the country. A lot of times it's when suits do get filed. And the states come in and say, well, we're going to make you now. Well, you change the legislature. Well, there's a vote fraud. Well, you change that. I mean, somebody assaulting you and putting stuff in your water, under common law, you can do a lot more than sue somebody. I blew my voice out later, just growling with hatred.
The ending of sorrow is the beginning of wisdom?
Nah, that's another quote. The ending of sorrow is the beginning of wisdom? No, there's another quote or a variant of it. Fear of God's the beginning of wisdom. The point is, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go to your calls quickly now. I got to finish up. Josh in California, you were talking to the person in the military, or the Department of Defense person. Go ahead.
Yeah, my uncle, he previously worked in the Pentagon doing radio. He was one of those radio guys in Vietnam running around with radio pack on, which later led him to be career intelligence communications, I guess is what it's called. And so I'd always ask him questions about different technology or this and that, and over time my questions progressed into more political things, especially after seeing you and this and that.
Okay, what did he say?
After 9/11, he really said to me that, there's some bad people in there. And he was referring to really just the Pentagon in general. So I was asking him, about anything he might know or this and that. And he said, there's really some bad people in there now. And he seemed scared. It seemed really different to me than anything else before, like where he was proud about, hiding something cool from me, you know what I mean?
Well, you know why? It's all come out. They've had FBI intelligence people like Sybil Evans come out, and she heard Al-Qaeda under Pentagon command on 9/11. On 9/11, and she said they're shipping kids, guns, and weapons, and drugs. I mean, look. I have multiple family members who were in the Army and then got recruited by the CIA for domestic operations and said no once they got into it. That's a lie that you can't ever get out. That's another mind control idea that, you never get out. Oh, well, I never get out then. You told me so. And they wanted them to kill people and deal drugs. I mean, who do you think does the hits? It's Army officers. That's their favorite group to recruit from. That's why, whenever we get Dr. Pachinik on, he's like, I'm tired of hearing about these SEALs all day. It's the Army that's actually doing the work, but they don't talk about it. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, and again, it's not like people are like, ooh, someone was a hitman for the CIA. Ooh, that's like saying, you were a delivery driver for Frito-Lay. I mean, they got tens of thousands of hitmen. I mean, who do you think runs $500 billion in drugs a year? It sure isn't, the Mexican mafia. The Russian mafia's FSB. That's on record. The mafia is just one lower level of criminals that work for the big banks. So you're saying he's scared now, Josh?
Well, I'm saying I wouldn't say now. I don't know how he directly feels. This was after 9/11 that I could really see a change in his attitude towards what was going on inside where he was getting his information from. And then the next Thanksgiving, this wasn't the internet I'm getting this information from, he tells me about how they want to put in ID cards to pass from state to state. And then the next Thanksgiving comes 3 years later or something, and I get information about, don't vote for Obama. He was working with a terrorist organization, quote unquote. I didn't believe this, but later on I see, I hate to say it, but Glenn Beck talk about the Weatherman Underground. And I said, I really don't.
No, the Weatherman Underground were all government, too. Exactly. It came out Patty Hearst. That was all staged. I mean, Patty Hearst, they're shooting 16-millimeter black and white film, clearly choreographed by a director robbing banks. I knew that was fake when I saw it. You can tell a staged photo, staged film. And it came out a few years ago. It was all staged. I hear you. God bless you.